Eric Hipple is the only Aggie quarterback to lead the team to back-to-back conference football championships. He did that in 1978 and 79, and later grabbed the nation's attention in his very first NFL game. He accounted for 6 touchdowns in a 48-17 Detroit win over Chicago. It was on Monday Night Football, and that's how he started his 10-year career in the National Football League.
When I got the call saying I'd be inducted to the Hall of Fame, I was really happy. In fact, I was really excited about it because I was here last year when Rick Parris got inducted, and just seeing that in itself, and just walking through the hall and the field over there, and so it just generates a lot of good feelings and a lot of happy times. So I'm glad to be back. We had a great team, and so the era that I played in was fantastic. It was changing times. We went from independent into the PCAA, so also we joined a conference, and we had some really good players. Shifted into, like you said, Roland Jones. We had, I think, Elwood Threffel, who linebacker, who went to Canada. Murphy went to Canada, and did all those great things up there. And Rick Parris, myself, Ruland. It was we had a good team. Just the environment here, it was so good. Wholesome, and it was a good group. We had our tight-knit group, like I said, our guys that we hung together. So it was, they always felt part of something when you were here. The canyon's beautiful. I remember skiing, all the stuff, the hiking and the stuff that I, growing up in LA, you don't really have this, you know what I mean? And so it was just being able to get out and explore was great. And we had quite a few guys that had 4-wheel drive trucks, and so we'd venture on up there. The campus itself, the classes were great. Just being able to get around, from in this community and move around, and it was just a great experience. I certainly appreciated the guys that we had, and to back that up, we had a tight team. In fact, 12 or 13 of the guys are going to be here this weekend. We still stay in touch, we still communicate. So we were a tight group, and it seems like those offensive linemen, stayed in touch all together. And I always felt like I guess I was one of them. As of recently, I was kind of starting to look like an offensive lineman, but those guys are great, and they keep it connected. And those guys had a tight group, and so it's so the level we had of players that we had was really good. The level of competition was fantastic. You consider, that during the time I was here, we played Penn State, we played Nebraska, we played Arkansas. So we played some large schools, and then plus the conference at the time, the PCAA, which is, had some pretty good powerhouses in itself. But going down to some of those larger schools and playing and being able to compete with them was not only confidence building, but it made you feel good about yourself and about your team, and that you could probably compete on any level, which probably helped me when I got to the pros, because the fact that, even though we're a small school, we played some big time football. And I mean this seriously when I said the level of competition really gave you a confidence boost, the fact that you could play with these guys, because when you get to the pros, you're looking at the top of the top, the top of the best. And those guys, a lot of them went to really large schools, and so can I compete against these guys? And I knew that I could, because we had done that. And so when I finally got my opportunity, which was a Monday night game, I had a lot of anxiousness going into it, of course, because in the back of your mind is, am I really good enough? But as I said, you have experience you could fall back on. And so I was up for the challenge. And the first start was fantastic. I think the best game that I played actually was in Green Bay against the Packers, where I think I scored about 90%. You get scored, after your film. I scored about 90% because it was just, I think my completion ratio was like 80%. It was really high. But it was just one of those days where the sun, it actually reminded me of playing here. It really did. Because the sun was just right, it's an outdoor stadium, and it was just, it had that feel to it, like football, like it is here, and I just went through, and everything just felt in that zone where everything just felt perfect, and just, So I had some really, really, good games, some really good ups. Also had some downs, I had 7 surgeries when I was there. And so you go up and down, you fight for your job, you get it back, but it was a great 10 years. The facilities are fantastic, and they changed quite a bit. From, I think we had, 9,000 students when I was here, to 30 now, 30,000 students, or 28,000, what is it? So it's large, but the facilities themselves, the stadium looks fantastic. You know, the stadium is just, I mean, it was fun to play when I was here because it was, you know, the setup was just, you know, but now it's complete, you know, with the back there, and it's just the campus itself, walking around the campus and just looking at, you know, it's like, it's a big time campus now. You know what I mean? You know, it's excellent. It's just beautiful.